Hey guys, Coach Pippin here from Pippin Performance, and welcome to the Fit Project, your weekly workouts designed to help you be strong, be mobile. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel below to get the latest workouts as they're posted. Jen is joining me here today for a mobility routine that will keep you moving on the tennis court with ease. Tennis is a high repetition, multi-directional sport, and you need to be able to prepare your joints for that. The perfect way to do that is incorporating mobility work into your weekly routine. There is no equipment needed for today's workout, so let's get going. Today's workout includes quad ped hip cars, standing shoulder cars, tibio cars, tall kneeling thoracic rotation, 90-90 back leg hovers, and tall kneeling infinity hovers. All right guys, let's get going. So we're gonna first start out with a quad ped hip car. And quad ped just means you're gonna be down on all fours, and our hip car is part of our car series, so controlled articular rotations. So this one's specifically for the hip, so we only wanna get the hip involved. So let's get down on all fours. Perfect. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start with our right leg. So we wanna make sure our back is nice and flat. Keep everything nice and engaged. You're gonna try to pull your hands lightly toward your knees, and that's really gonna help turn your abs on. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take the right knee and we're gonna slowly pull it up toward the right elbow, keeping our back nice and flat. We're gonna take the right leg up toward the ceiling, almost like a dog peeing on a fire hydrant. And now we're gonna swoop around, getting that foot up, getting into hip extension, owning that position, and then we're gonna come back through the zone for 4 more repetitions. So the key here, guys, is getting our hip being able to do all the things a hip can do. Flex, extend, internally and externally rotate, abduct, adduct. We gotta get all those things doing that. If our hip can't do that, we're putting all stress on the body, making the hip motion. It's gonna come from somewhere else, and that's usually gonna be from your knee, ankle, or even your lower back. So keep your hips moving and grooving with your hip car. To our left leg now. So once again, do a quick little check-in. Think about dragging the hands toward the knees, abs stay engaged. A good thought is to think like you have a nice glass of something on your lower back. Don't spill the glass. So let's go left knee toward the left elbow, own it, so come up, and now we're gonna go foot high, knee high, good. Swooping the knee, back down through the zone. 4 more, guys. Own and back through. And get 3. And 2. Good, 1 more. Nice and flat, check in with those abs, make sure we're not spilling that glass, and back through. Awesome job. So now we're gonna stand up, and now we're gonna get into our standing shoulder cars. So same kind of concept, we're gonna make sure our shoulder does shoulder stuff. So we're gonna start facing to our left, or our right. We're gonna start with the left arm so you guys can see what's going on here. So first, we're gonna make a karate chop hand, brace those abs, squeeze your butt, put your head over your spine, and we're gonna slowly lift up until we hit our roadblock. Go ahead. So we're gonna own that position. Now, a quick little tip is we wanna think like we have like an X drawn on the inside of our elbow, and as I come out to the side, we're going to wind that X away from you so you cannot see it. Set the scap when we get behind. We're gonna own this back position. So we're trying to pull that scap down and act like we're holding something behind our back. We're gonna come down, pause, and now we're gonna go back and we can't get any more range. So now we're gonna externally rotate, come back up, over the top, and straight down. And let's get 4 more, guys. So Jen has a lot of range in her upper with her shoulder here. Most people aren't gonna have that. That's totally fine. Just go to where you feel safe. You'll notice she's not trying to move anything else to squeeze out more range. She's only going where her shoulder will let her go. Good. And we're really trying to focus on what that X is doing. If I think what my elbow is rotating, that means my rotation's coming from my shoulder. A lot of people tend to rotate their hands, and that means the rotation's coming from the wrist, and we don't want that. We want to create as much shoulder rotation, which is gonna give us the most bang for our buck. Excellent, spin around. And now let's get that right. All right, karate chop hand, brace the abs, come straight up, hit that roadblock, and now start to wind that elbow over. Good, come down, set the scap, back up, unwind, and back over the top. Excellent, let's get 4 more. So with all of the cars, guys, just make sure you take your time. Really own the positions that you're capable of going into. That's the whole point of them, is to develop that control and that awareness everywhere that that joint can go. Now, obviously in tennis, we have a ton of overhead stuff going on. Our shoulders getting put in some crazy positions, so we gotta make sure we're nice and prepared for that. Good, last one. Excellent. And back up. Make sure our head's not moving, hips aren't moving, nothing. All right, guys, now we're gonna get into our tibial car. So go ahead and sit on the ground. We're gonna take our right leg, go under, so switch that up. And now we wanna get this bone right here moving for us. So if you watch on my leg, I really wanna think like this is rotating. You can see this bone here is starting to move. I know that looks really creepy, but it's meant to do that. And we need to have both internal and external of that. So let's first get a good grip, put your thumbs behind your calf, put your fingers so that bone's kind of wedged in between, pull the foot up into dorsiflexion, and now let's just start getting that thing moving. Good. When you feel the bone stop moving, don't move your foot anymore, because what you'll do is you'll start to roll your ankle to create more range. And we just want to go to when the bone stops and then back out, because we're only isolating this joint. Excellent. So we got that bone moving. Now we're going to get into the actual car. So we're going to take our left arm, hook it under, take our right hand, and get a good grip of that tibia. So now we're going to roll into external rotation, pause. We're going to extend from our leg, hold here. We're going to internally rotate. It's not going to move that much. We're going to come back down, stay in internal rotation, come back up, externally rotate, and come back down. We're going to do that 4 more times. Up, internally rotate, and down. Back up. So the straighter your leg is, the less rotation you're gonna have. So don't worry about if you get up here and the foot barely moves, just make sure you're not rolling that ankle, okay? We wanna make sure it's only coming from the tibia, not from the ankle joint, which is a completely separate car. Good, last one, roll in, come down, back up, and roll out. All right, guys, let's switch sides. So left leg goes under, right leg's on top. If you struggle with from a stability standpoint of here, you can always lean up against a bench or something, a couch, whatever you got. So pull that foot up into dorsiflexion and let's start moving that tibia. Now don't freak out, guys, if you have one foot that tends to move way more than the other. That's totally normal. Just work with what you got and make sure the tibia is moving. Good. All right, now that we got it, let's go right arm underneath the leg. Hook the right hand, grab that left tibia. Let's go into external rotation, elevate the foot, own it, roll in, come down, pause, and now go back up, and now externally rotate. And let's get 5 total, guys. Good. Once again, if you need a little bit extra balance, feel free to lean up against a couch, bench, whatever you got. Good. Trust me, guys, this is a very underrated thing. We need to have that foot being able to move and groove, all right? A lot of ACL tears come from the ability that you don't own this position. All of a sudden that knee buckles in. But if you've been doing these, that means you've been there before. That means you got a fighting chance if you get put there. Last one. Down and back up. All right, so now we're gonna get into what we call a tall kneeling thoracic rotation. So we're gonna have Jen kneel facing to her right. So we put ourselves in this position because this allows us not to cheat. So what we're gonna think about is we're gonna squeeze our glutes. We're gonna put our hands right on the top of our shoulders. So now we're gonna slowly start to fold our thoracic spine, coming down, and that's our position. Right now my back is still perpendicular to the floor. I should feel a nice stretch running down the thoracic. So this is thoracic flexion. This is where all rotation comes from. So we're gonna stay in this position, and now we're gonna slowly rotate our sternum to our left without changing anything else. That's as far as she's gonna go. Right now, she feels nice engagement on her left. You're gonna feel a big stretch on your right, and now we're gonna return all the way to the right now. Keep squeezing your glutes so you're not having the rotation come from your hips. It's all coming from that thoracic region. And we're just gonna keep going back and forth. Let's get 5 total. Let's do a quick little check-in. Make sure we're not tilting, make sure we're only rotating, and now we're gonna rotate the other direction. And don't worry, guys, we're gonna show this from the front side as well in the next round. That way you guys can see both ways. Good. A good cue with this is remember those old school heart rate monitors we used to wear. That's kind of the line that we're attacking. If you feel anything below that line, that means you're starting to tilt and you're letting your hips move. Looks good. Last one, go left. And now come back to the right. So we're getting all that rotation to happen. Excellent. All right, go ahead and hop back on the ground. And we're gonna get into our nani-nani back leg hovers. So this is a really, really advanced mobility drill. We're gonna show kind of 2 versions of it. So we're gonna get into the nani-nani position. So we're gonna bring this foot back. So this femur head is pretty much in line with the body. The front leg is parallel to this guy. This shin is basically in the same line as this foot. So Jen has a lot of range here. Most people lean out onto their forearm. So we'll show that one first. So Jen, go ahead and get on your left forearm here. Perfect. So this is where I would start out with first. We're going to irradiate tension. We're going to pick this whole leg up, keeping this knee at 90 degrees. And now we're going to bring the foot around and we're going to touch right in front of our left knee. Touch, keep that knee at 90 degrees the whole time. There you go, don't straighten that knee. And then we're going to slowly put it back down. Brace, pick the leg up. And now we're going to roll through. Boom, touch. And then come back around. Excellent, down. So this is kind of the beginner version, guys. Make sure you're only moving your hip. Your pelvis is going to want to roll. Don't let that happen. So right now, if you're doing this properly, you should feel a massive amount of tension on pretty much where your pocket would be on your right hip. Excellent. Come down. Back up. Rotate, 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 rotate. Good. Back around. And let's get one more, guys. Brace, really tighten those abs. Lift. Now rotate the foot. Excellent. Come around, touch, and back around. All right, guys, let's go ahead and flip sides. So now we're gonna have our right leg in front. Left leg is our trail leg. We got a good line here. Straight line from knee to forehead. We're on our right elbow. Let's elevate and hold. Bring this around. A little bit more stability. You could really think about driving your right knee into the ground. Like imagine you got like a weight thing underneath it and you're pushing that weight scale down, trying to generate the biggest number possible. Good. This looks easy. Trust me, it is not. Even at this angle, it's still very challenging on that hip because most of the time, none of us have ever picked our hip up in this direction. But we're trying to make, once again, get our hip to do what hip things do, all right? So we need a lot of rotation, a lot of abduction and all that good stuff. So when we're out there on the tennis court, we're always putting ourselves in a good, safe position. Let's get two more. Good. Put it down, keep that knee at 90 degrees. If you feel like you struggle with that 90-degree angle in the knee, you can always put like a softball back there, squeeze that thing, it just gives you something to keep your knee at 90 degrees. All right, Jen, come on up. We're gonna get back into that tall kneeling position facing the camera. So now we're gonna do what we call an infinity hover, and it's just a fancy way of doing cool shoulder stuff. So we're gonna start out with our arms out like a T. So from this position, this hand's gonna come up facing that way. This right arm is gonna come down, and so your palms are facing. So that's our starting position. Now from here, don't change anything, just bend your elbows. You're gonna pause there. So right now, you're gonna feel a whole lot of shoulder stuff going on. Most people aren't gonna be as mobile as Jen. Stay tall. Don't move your hips, just go to where you feel safe. Extend those elbows. And now we're gonna return back to that T, unwinding the hands, and now right arm goes up, palm faces, left arm comes down, and now bend the elbows and extend, come back to start. That's one rep, guys. Now we're gonna do 4 more each way. Good, go only where you feel safe and you're not having a whole lot of movement stuff going on. If you keep thinking about squeezing your abs, squeezing your glutes, keep your head over your spine, you're not gonna be moving all this different directions. Good job, good job. Bend those elbows. Try to keep that head up. A big cue here is guys we move our head in that forward posture. That way we can get more room back here, but don't do that. Just go to where you feel safe. Do a quick check-in. Your glutes engaged, abs engaged, everything's nice and tight. Looks good. All right, finish up with this last one. Excellent. All right, now we're gonna go back all the way through all things. Now we're gonna get in that quad ped hip car position. I'll take that guy. So let's get on all fours. Slide toward me a little bit. Perfect, right there. So make sure we're nice and engaged, hands directly underneath the shoulder. Think about dragging the hands toward the knees. Now we're gonna go right knee toward right elbow. Good, abs brace, knee comes up. Now we rotate, getting that knee and that foot high. We're gonna own this extension and then back through the zone. Let's get 4 more. Slower is better here, guys, with these cars. Feel everything that your hip can do. This should not be easy. If it's easy, you're probably not hitting your true range of motion. Good, 2 more, Jen. Good, last one. Excellent. All right, let's go to that left leg. So left knee toward left elbow. Left leg comes up to the ceiling. We're gonna rotate, 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 and back through. A fun little game you guys can do with this. If you feel like you're moving too much, you could always take like a yoga block or something and actually put it right on your lower back. Don't let it fall off your back. And you'll notice your hip is gonna move way less, and that's okay. That means that's actually what your hip is capable of, instead of getting compensation from other places. Last one. Excellent. All right, stand up for me, Jen. So now we're gonna face the camera. Now we're gonna do those shoulder cars. We're gonna go right hand, make a karate chop hand, lift the arm up, own that position. Now freeze. We're gonna imagine we have that little X here, and now we're going to out and rotate, 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 swooping back and around, set that scap, come down, and then now back, unwind, getting as much range as we can, keeping our head vertical, abs, butt engaged. Everything's moving nice and smooth. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Good, back up. Try not to let that elbow bend. We'll do that to create more space. Don't worry about that. Just keep your arm nice and locked, and just keep trying to think about shoulder stuff. That's all we're trying to improve here. Good job. Let's get two more. Rotate, rotate, rotate. Good. All right, guys, last one. Come up, squeeze, get that good extension, and now roll it through. Excellent. And if it's the first time you've ever done a shoulder car, guys, don't freak out when you get behind you and it kind of skips like an old school CD player. It does happen, it just means you don't have control there yet. Let's go with the left. Create tension, abs and butt. Wind it up. Keep envisioning that little X. Make sure you can't see it as it goes down. Come back over and back through. Four more. Good, 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 good. Another good cue, guys, is don't let that shoulder rotate back. Almost envision like your left pec is pointed straight as we take that arm over. We don't want to create any rotation. We just want everything to come from that shoulder. Last two. Excellent. Back through. And last one, guys. Up. Brace those abs. Start to wind, wind, wind. Good, and down. Back up. Unwind it. And back through. All right, let's go ahead and sit on the ground. We're gonna get back to those tibial cars. So sit on the ground. Let's have the left foot out in front, right leg tucked underneath, thumbs right behind the calf. Kind of wedge your fingers around your end of your tibia, and let's just start creating some rotation. Make sure that thing's moving. Remember, we don't want to roll the ankle here. It's like almost like a windshield wiper with your foot. Looks good. All right, so now let's go left arm underneath, get a good grip. Left hand grabs the right forearm, right hand grabs right in front of the tibia, toes up, externally rotate, kick up, internally rotate, come down, pause, back up, externally rotate, and then back through. And we're just gonna get 5, guys. Now, for most people, your tibia is not going to rotate at all the very first couple times you do that. That's okay. It's just you've never asked it to do that. But start doing the cars every day, and you'll start to get that movement back. Good. All right, 2 more. Down. And last one, guys. All right, let's get into that right leg now. So left leg goes under, right leg out in front. Thumbs behind, make sure we get that tibia moving. It's almost like if you think about it, like you're pivoting on the ground with the back part of your foot. Make sure you get that good windshield wiper movement. No inverting or everting of that ankle. We're just rotating from the tibia. There we go. Really think about getting out here, and then we're rotating back. Knee stay still. There we go. And you'll really start to see that bone move. That's what we want to get going. Excellent. It is very freaky the first time you do it. So now let's go right arm underneath. Grab the left forearm, left hand grabs the front. Good. Let's go externally rotate, come up, internally rotate, and down. Let's get back up, external, and down. Let's get 4 more. So we found something that Jen's not very mobile in. Everything else she's really good, but this one she struggles with, and that's okay. It just gives her something she needs to really work on. Looks good, and down. All right, 1 more, guys. Internally rotate, down, up, externally rotate, and back down. So we're gonna get back to those tall kneeling thoracic rotation. Let's face the camera this time. So we're gonna get tall knees, tuck the toes, come up, squeeze your glutes, get really, really tall. Like imagine somebody's pulling your head straight up to the ceiling, hands on your shoulders. We're gonna slowly fold forward, Good, trying to get a little stretch right up here in the top. If you start to feel a stretch below your ribs, that means you've gone too far. So we're in a good rotation. Now rotate to our left. Perfect, and let's get 4 more of those, guys. To the right, just own the rotation. So only go to where your sternum stops. Once you can't go anymore, don't squeeze out anymore by tilting, just all rotation comes from this forward thoracic position. We want to make sure we own that. Now back to the left. Good, 2 more, to the right. Squeeze that little bit underneath your armpit. That's what's causing this rotation to happen. Now to the left. Good, 1 more each way. Good, back to the left. Awesome job. All right, go ahead and get on the ground. We're gonna get back into that 90-90 position, and we're gonna show a little bit more advanced version of this. So once again, make sure you got a good setup. So this time she's gonna have her weight on her hand, and what we wanna think about is not letting our torso tilt once we start to elevate that back leg. So we really need to create some tension here because this is gonna get very difficult. So we wanna think like we're driving that entire right leg into the ground. I'm even pushing my right hand into the ground. Let's elevate that left leg and hold. Good. Now we're gonna come around. Excellent, come and touch. Touch down, pick up, and slowly put it back and down. That's 1, let's get 4 more. Now if you really want to get advanced, if this still isn't challenging enough, you could always pick up your right hand, and that's going to get really, really like challenging to say the least. But if you got it, go for it. Just make sure we're not moving that torso too much. You'll see with Jen, she's trying to stay as vertical as possible. That's what really makes this difficult. You're going to ask this hip to do a couple things here. Good, 2 more. And don't freak out if you cramp right here in this hip. The first time you do this, it does happen. Last one. It's just your body's way of saying, oh no, I've never done this before. I don't like it. I'm gonna throw a little cramp to get your body to relax. All right, let's flip sides. If you do cramp, just shake it out and then get right back to it. All right, make sure we got a good setup. Excellent. Let's irradiate tension. So drive your left leg in the ground, screw that left hand in, right leg up, come around, keep that knee at 90. Slow, slow, slow. You're gonna wanna whip that leg around where you're really good to get you through where you're really not so good. So nice and slow. Own every little bit of range of that motion. Awesome, let's get 3 more. Good, good touch. Back around. Good, 2 more. Back around. All right, 1 more, guys. Touch. Excellent. Hover. So this time we're going to have Jen face me to her left. That way we can get a side angle view. Let's rotate a little bit more that way. Perfect. All right, so tuck those toes, squeeze the glutes. We're going to start with our arms out in that T position. So we're going to go left hand goes up, palm faces that way, right hand comes down, faces back, and now we're going to bend. Good. You notice how we're not changing angles here. She's not moving her head, not moving her hips or nothing. Everything stays perfectly still. Own it, bend it, and back down. A lot of people, when they do this, they'll stick their abs out to create more space behind their back. Don't do that. Keep those abs nice and engaged. Almost like envision somebody's going to come up and give you a little karate chop to your abdominals. If somebody did that, you should be okay because they're nice and braced. Good job. Nice and smooth. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Good, keep breathing. Sometimes we'll try to hold our breath a little bit to squeeze out that last little range. Let's finish up this last one. Extend. Awesome. And get that last second right there. Boom. And excellent. Come on up. All right, guys, that's the end of today's workout. If you want to keep playing tennis all day, every day, you must find a way to start incorporating some kind of mobility training into your routine. Tennis demands a lot on the body, so make sure you are ready. We'll see you guys next time, and remember, be strong, be mobile. Good job, girl.